Cafe. Welcome to all of you again to the next episode of Kamyab Woman. So, here with us we have Vandana Saxena. Vandana is a soft skill trainer, HR professional, and digital content creator. She has won Best Blogger Award by Asian Literary Society, Mom Espresso, Asian Literary Society, She the People, Women's Web, Sees Global Women Forum, Litroma, Plethora Magazine, and many more. So, welcome, Vandana Saxena. It's great pleasure to meet you, to have you on Kamyab Woman, and we would like to hear something from you. And first of all, to start with, I would like to know that as you are the blogger and you are attached with writing with Women's Web and Mom Espresso, can you share your journey, like how you achieved that success to be part of Mom Espresso and Women's Web? And we all women want to know that exactly how you made that success.
Oh, well, Vandana, you're my namesake. So thank you for having me here. And it is indeed a pleasure to share my journey with you. And thank you for that wonderful introduction. So blogging started some years ago, maybe 4 years ago, when I was working in a corporate, and I was just like a cliche life. I had a cliche life where I would wake up in the morning, go to work, come back, take care of the child, household, and everything. It started with just like that. I used to read a lot of blogs from Momspresso and Women's Web because I am an avid reader. So somehow it started with started on a Women's Day when I wanted to say a lot, and I don't think so I had an honest ear to talk about. So I thought of, no, why not writing it? So I just wrote it extempore, and I just made some corrections. After 2-3 days, I sent it to Momspresso for the first time, and to my surprise, it was published. So and then I didn't know what to do next. So for a few days, I didn't write anything, and then I started writing again, and then it became an addiction. So I started writing something almost every week, and that is how the journey started. So soon the blog reached some views. I mean, somewhere around 2,000, 3,000 views within like 1 month. And I was like, oh, this is working. So that's how it started, actually.
So that is the talent which you had, and once you started writing, that came into the picture. So this is the something for women, other women to be inspired that if they have something in them, they should write about it or try to do about it, and then they get inspired about it.
Well, Vandana, at times it happens that, you have some talents and you don't even know. Like, I didn't even know. I was always a good writer, but when I was a child, I used to score good marks in essay writing, story writing, paragraph writing, and all of that. But I wasn't sure that I would take writing further ever. So it's always good to reinvent yourself. It is absolutely okay to hit and try. Just try something out, and you never know where you click. So I just tried something out and it clicked for me. So that's how I reinvented myself. And that was not the first thing that I wanted to do. I tried my hands on music. I tried my hands on other writing, poetry writing, and a lot of them. But then I think this is the one that clicked well, blogging. So I think there is no right time, no right moment, no right age to reinvent yourself. You can reinvent yourself anytime any point of time in your life. Just keep it and trying and see what works well for you.
So when you say writing or blogging, so is there any particular genre you write in? Like there are like comedy writing as well, filmy writing also, women writing. So is there something particular you write on?
Well, I started with a lifestyle blog, which didn't have a niche. It talked about my personal life experiences, parenting, and a lot of other things, relationships, and all of that. But I guess with time, I realized that my niche lies in writing only. So I created my own website, which has a niche for writing, where I share the writing tips, how you create a blog, how you write good content, how do you search engine optimize it. I think that's my niche. So on a lighter note, I keep blogging about these personal life experiences because life goes on. So it's better to share them. But yes, when it comes to niche, I think I'm more into writing about writing, that how you should write. So that's something that I do.
Okay, another thing I want to say is that writing, content writing is a very ambiguous and requires a lot of planning. It
Mhm.
cannot be done just like it requires a lot of hard work and planning that you are good in. So, how do you plan and schedule your content writing work?
See, content writing is not an off-shelf product that you can buy and start
Yeah.
using it. It doesn't work this way. So it requires, as you rightly said, that it requires a lot of hard work. It requires some kind of planning. It requires some kind of expertise to write in. When it comes to a blog, I think blog anybody can write. I mean, blog is anyway the informal form of writing, and it is if even if you have the grasp on the language, you can write a wonderful blog. But when it comes to formal form of content, like writing an article or maybe writing web content or SEO content or newsletter or press release or something like that, then I think research is one thing that is important. You should have a purpose to write, why you are writing. I mean, are you sharing knowledge? You are sharing information. You should decide your purpose. You should decide your target audience, who's going to read it, right? That's something important for you to understand, that who's the target audience, and then you plan accordingly. Plan your content in an order, that what has to be shared first and what has to be shared later, what is the transition. So it takes a lot of time. So how I plan and order it, that I have my content calendar ready for like next 2 weeks. I take up assignments only when I am done with those assignments, and then I plan, and then I have, chosen one time for writing. I prefer to write in the morning when everybody is fast asleep in my house and there is silence. So no one is there to, when I'm bent over my laptop before all of that starts, that the child has to sit for school, the domestic help has not showed up, doorbell has started to ring. So before all of that, I do my writing work, because writing, I need no distractions while writing. So
And also, like in the morning, the concentration level is also high. So that would also add.
that would moreover, I mean, it depends on person to person. Like, I'm a morning person, so for some, like my daughter, it doesn't work in the morning. For her, she's an evening person, so she wakes up late till the night, and she does her homework then, so she finds it better that way. For me, it works in the morning. So the point is that you can decide your time, but you should be alone while writing, because writing is a lonely process. If you are distracted by your phone notification or anything else in writing, then your writing is screwed up. So it's better to be alone while writing, switch off the internet, and it's better to write in
Run
peace. Yeah.
and no
in
distractions actually.
no
So
distraction.
does this happen like as shown in the movies that you are writing something and then you crunch the paper and you throw it, or is it like when in peace you can write it properly, or is it like many times you have to write and then cancel it, delete it?
Well, it depends. At times, you just take, 10 minutes to write a blog, and maybe just 1 hour, and you're done with your article. But at times, it takes more. So it depends. I mean, it's not, there is no set formula that okay, this will be written in this much time. So it depends on your idea, how you are. At times, you don't find the right word. At times, you don't find the right sentence. It becomes a little difficult for you to phrase it. Even if you have the idea in your mind, you do not know how to phrase it. You try to phrase it and you feel, oh, this is not conveying what I intend to say. So and then a lot of things happen like that. And then at times, yes, you the I used to write on a notepad before, but these days I think everything is on laptop, so I also write on laptop. But then that, yet yes, this happens. So for one article or one content, I have three files, which are three different files created. So the first one is the first draft, which is like writing only the basic ideas that what I want to write. And the second one is the editing copy. And then there are a few rounds of editing, and then I create a master copy. So,
Okay.
I mean, it takes some time, but then at times it clicks in one go.
Yeah.
So
So the message which I can take from you here is that first is the idea, which is important, and
Yes.
then it is phrasing it. Phrasing is also important. So idea and phrasing are the two things which is very important when you plan and schedule it. And which is the fantastic, like you edit your work so many times and the final copy which comes out is great, and which is great. And that's what makes you successful also. So,
I think,
yeah.
yeah.
So
So
what
I
are,
think
yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah,
we
tell me.
got confused. All right. So I think what happens is when it comes to editing, you never know. I mean, at times too much editing also becomes bad. If you try to edit too much, it doesn't work. If you do not try to edit at all. So what I do is that, you prefer write something and then walk away from it for some hours, so that you come back to it with a fresh mind, and you are able to see that, then you what is not in place or what is in place. So that way I think it is easier. So it is always better to walk away from your content for a while and then come back for editing. If you try to edit while writing, then I don't think so your idea will be or you will do justice to your idea. So it's better to write your idea without editing and then come back for edits. I mean, maybe after a while or something. That works well.
Okay, that's great. And I wanted to know that what is that topic and subject on which you have never written, but you would like to write in future and share it with the public, and why?
Well, I have never written on politics. So that is something, though I have my opinions as well, but I prefer to keep them to myself. I do not know how, I know it is important to call a spade, but how to call it a spade and then you don't even get into trouble is something, I am still learning. I don't know how to do this, but then yes, there are a few things that I wish to write about the current affairs, current scenarios, a few things that I do not like about politics, or I like about politics. I mean, what is happening around and all of that, maybe the efficiency of the government, or the wrong decisions that I feel are wrong. Maybe, they could have done it better in certain areas. So I wish to write about them, but I have never had the courage to write because I feel that's not something my niche, and plus it also requires a lot of research work. I should be well informed, because when I am writing a content like this, it becomes my responsibility to ensure that the public is reading something which is right, or the reader is reading something which is right, and it doesn't have any kind of ambiguity in it. So that I have never written, but I feel that I can write, but one day let's hope share my opinions on the current affairs also. But I've never done that. But I want to
And we
write.
would all love to see that too in the near future. I would like to know that where do you see yourself in next 5 years? Like as you told, you would like to write about politics, but however, would you like to see in 5 years and 10 years?
Well, I live in the moment, so I have never planned for 5 years hence. So, considering the current situations in the pandemic and the second wave taking away a lot of our dear friends and family, so I have now not planned anything for 5 years. But yes, I think I will never do anything that doesn't make me feel happy. My life goes by a simple rule that do whatever makes you feel happy. Anything that doesn't, even if a content doesn't make me feel happy, I say no to it. So it's about that. But I can say that within this year, I want to be a published author. So two of my books are under. I'm working on two on my books, so they will soon be published. One is already with the publisher, so that is a collection of poetry, and the other one will be out by September, and the last one by December or January 2022. So for this year, I have planned that this is what I have to do this year. I have honestly not planned for 5 years, but then I'm a person who would accept life as it comes. So I think planning for 1 year is fine with me. Plus, if circumstances allow, I wish to travel the world in next 5 years, because traveling is something that I really enjoy. And I've not been traveling for past 2 years due to the pandemic.
And maybe we would see you doing the travel blogging as well.
Yeah, I have traveled a lot, but I have never written about it because when I started to blog, my website was launched in 2019, which was September, and December 2019, I think we had the first case in India for COVID. So after that, I didn't travel. So I was planning that whenever now I will travel, I will create a video blog or maybe a YouTube channel for my travel blog because I've been traveling a lot. But after that, I didn't get a chance to travel at all. So I'm sure, I hope, hopefully things will be fine soon and we will start to travel. So definitely I would want to have a travel vlog this time so that I can create video content also. I've never created video content as such ever. So, but I want to do that. So definitely I'll start the video content with a travel blog.
So can we know the name of the books which you have published and which will be out in September and December?
Okay, so the first book is a collection of poetry. That is the collection of poetry from the various writing challenges where I have won the writing challenges. So it is a collection of somewhere around 25, 30 poems, and it is called as Hues from the Cues. So I always got a cue, and then there was a winning poetry. Yeah, Hues from the Cues. So that is what, and it is already with the publisher. So it will be published soon, maybe in a month's time. And the other one is a collection of drabbles, which are like 100-word stories. So it is a collection of 100 drabbles. So these are again the winning stories that I have written on various platforms. The third book would be a collection of short stories. So those I have, a few of the stories are the winning stories that I wrote a few years ago on Momspresso, and I won the writing challenge. And plus, there are a few more stories that I have collected or curated into them, and there will be a collection of somewhere around 20 short stories. So that will be published somewhere in December.
So these stories, like if somebody wants to purchase, these are related to what kind of stories? Related to like
fictional. It's all fictional.
it's all fictional. Okay.
Fiction, yeah.
So anybody can read these stories.
Anybody can read. These are all fiction, fictional
Within,
stories, but yeah, all fiction.
okay,
So anybody
great.
can read.
That's great. So if a person like wants to be a content writer, as your content writer successful, so what should he or she be the focus areas, like 3 focus areas, if we can say, which a content writer should keep in mind?
So one is that if you want to be a content writer, it is always better. If you have a flair for writing, definitely you can be a content writer. But to be a content writer, it is important to have the technical qualifications because content is not only about writing. The content is digital these days, so you need to understand the digital aspect of it as well. So it's better to have formal qualification in content writing. There are many institutes, you can Google them, and have some formal qualification in content writing because so that you are able to understand the technicalities of how the digital content industry works. Plus, one should decide the niche because you can be a good writer and you can write any niche when it comes to writing, but to find an expertise or to explore your expertise, you can't be good at it. You can't be an expert in everything. So you have to decide that what do you write better? Is it the articles or is it the press releases or is it the copywriting or the academic content or research writing or technical content? You can just choose your niche. I mean, you can be an expert in one or two only. I don't think so. You should sail in many boats. That will not take you anywhere. So that's the other thing that you should focus upon, that what's your niche. The third thing is one should focus upon is reading, because reading is like breathing in and writing is like breathing out. So if you want to write, want to become an expert in writing press releases, read the newspaper every day, read every press release that is printed in the newspaper, and that is how you become a better press release writer. You want to be a copywriter, ensure that you read every ad, even on Facebook, so that you learn how to write a catchy copy, pay attention to the graphics. So that's something that you have to focus upon, that whatever content niche you decide, get some technical qualification in it and try to read more about it. And that is how you become a better content writer.
Okay, that's interesting. So reading and more of reading. So like as you've been a content writer from such a long time, so you must have faced a little bit of criticism also in the blogs which you have written. So how did you tackle those situations? If like, because it is faced by every blogger.
Yeah, I think I've been trolled enough. So I have had my share of trolling also. And but that doesn't stop me from sharing my opinion, my experience. However, I think getting into a fight on the social media or internet, or a fight of words, or, the fight of tweets on the social media or internet doesn't take you anywhere. The other person is actually getting leverage of your followers, and people are following you. So what you can do is that you can agree to disagree. If you disagree with something, you can politely say. It's better not to respond if you do not like the comment. If you There is an option to delete. If you want to delete, you can delete it. If somebody gets abusive with me, I just delete it. I don't want to get into that, because I've got better things to do. I would rather spend my energy on writing something better, writing something else. So there have been instances where people have got abusive with me on internet, and I have just deleted their comment and blocked them. It's a simple rule. There is no point wasting energy. The other thing is that even if you are arguing on internet, or any of your post or any of your blog with your reader, ensure that you are polite and humble. Respect their views. Do not let your egos fight. Understand the point. It's not necessary that you are always right. If you are wrong, there is nothing wrong, or there is no harm in accepting that, okay, you have learned something new. So that is how it will work. But I think if it is getting on to your nerves, better delete it. So, but yes, I have had some healthy arguments also with my readers, and that I really enjoy. So we agree to disagree, but I respect other people's opinion as well.
That's great, and that's a noble thing. And one advice you would like to give to all the women in large?
So that's something that okay. One advice I would. Fine. So I think as women, when we are girls, when not even women, when we were girls, or when we were when we start to go to the college, or when we start to go to school, our parents start to teach us adjust, right? So start to adjust. So that's something, that's one advice. I don't say that don't adjust, but I would like to say that, if you're adjusting to something, only adjust if you can maintain that adjustment for life. If you're not able to maintain it for life, it will give you troubles, and then you will be not happy about it. And always work towards your happiness. Anything that doesn't make you feel happy, don't do it. So be it anything, be it cooking, be it cleaning, be it working, anything, your work, anything. Like cooking doesn't give me happiness. I don't feel happy when I have to cook. I mean, I don't enjoy doing it. I don't cook. So that's outsourced. So I'm like, okay, I don't enjoy doing that. I can do the basics. Like if the cook doesn't show up for consecutively 2 days, I would manage the kitchen so that the kitchen doesn't become no man's land. But since it doesn't give me happiness, I don't do it as a regular core of my life. So I don't do it. So it's entirely up to you that what makes you feel happy. Do whatever makes you feel happy, and work towards your happiness always.
So that's a very great advice coming from Vanna Saxena, that do what you love what you do. And happiness is important. What the thing which makes you happy, whatever activity makes you happy, whether it is gardening or cooking, or related to IT, or related to a YouTuber, or content writing, or any profession you want to choose, you can, and adjust only if that makes you content in your life. So
yes.
With that, I would like to end the session for today. I hope you all enjoyed it, and thank you so much for giving us your precious time. And we wish you a good luck in life, so that your 3 books get all success, and you write in politics also, and other fields also. I would like to study about that too, and we wish you all the good luck.
Thank you so much, Vandana. Thank you for having me here. It was indeed a pleasure to talk to you. And and it was I think we have been in touch for a quite long time. So it is indeed wonderful to know you as well. So thank you.
Same here. Thank you so much.